We are here at part of the Fort Donelson National Battlefield Surrender House. There's the river. Let me walk over here by the sign.
Guess what? It's open, girl.
It's the Tennessee River?
Cumberland.
Cumberland River, I'm sorry.
Cumberland.
So this is the, well, okay, this is the Dover Hotel, the Surrender Hotel where Grant, let's see. Built between 1851 and 1853, the hotel accommodated riverboat travelers before and after the Civil War. Confederate General Buckner and his staff used the hotel as their headquarters during the battle. After Buckner accepted what he calls Grant's ungenerous and unchivalrous terms of surrender, the two generals met here to work out the details. Their conversation was friendly. They had been friends before the war and students together at West Point. Grant conveyed his respect for his opponent's ability, while Buckner bore the defeat with dignity. After the war, they would renew their friendship. Buckner would become governor of Kentucky, and Grant the 18th president of the United States. Wow. This is it. Quite interesting. It's called the Dover Hotel. A lot of history here. There's another plaque over here I'm going to walk over and read. This is beautiful in here. Right on the Cumberland River. Beautiful old trees. Wow. The signs here says 13,000 prisoners. Dejected Confederate defenders of Fort Donelson huddled here against the cold on February 16, 1862. They had fought long and hard against Grant's forces and did not consider themselves defeated. They had been surrendered against their will and now waited to be transported north. Never before in the Civil War had so many prisoners been taken, and the poorly clad Confederates could only guess what awaited them. After being issued 2 days' rations and allowed to keep their clothing, blankets, and such personal property as may be carried about the person, the prisoners were shipped 120 miles to Cairo, Illinois. From there, trains carried them to prison camps in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Massachusetts. In September 1862, most of the prisoners were exchanged for Union soldiers being held in Confederate prison camps. Wow. Pretty fascinating stuff. A lot of history. Civil War history, that is. This was an old hotel. It's small for a hotel, but I guess back then it was adequate. We'll head on in, see if it's not too dark.
News of Fort Donelson blazed across America. The Union had won an unprecedented victory, the surrender of an entire Confederate army. For Ulysses S. Grant himself, the events at the Dover Hotel meant the little-known soldier became famous overnight. Grant's initials, U.S., Northerners said, stood for unconditional surrender. For the South, this was its first catastrophe. The heartland of the Confederacy had now been pried open to invasion. The war in the West had turned toward the Union. Floyd and Pillow were reprimanded, their reputations tarnished forever. For the tiny town around the Dover Hotel, the Civil War would bring almost complete destruction. Twice Confederate forces tried to drive federal troops from the stronghold. Both times they failed. And all but 4 buildings in the town of Dover were ruined. But for local enslaved men, women, and children, Dover became a safe haven. Grant ordered that no enslaved laborers be returned to their masters. Freed men found work at Dover as teamsters, cooks, seamstresses, laborers. They established a community not far from the hotel known as Free State. The hotel saw an almost unparalleled amount of history. Slavery and freedom. Victory and defeat. Life and death. One man had emerged from obscurity here. In time, he commanded all the armies of the Union and went on to become president. The war itself, it could be said, changed here. At Fort Donelson, Grant showed that he would pursue victory at all costs. Yet when the war was over, the Dover Hotel went back to being just a hotel. In the end, it was dilapidated and was nearly torn down until the Fort Donelson House Historical Association realized in 1928 the national significance of the Dover Hotel and banded together to save a place that mattered, a place where history had happened in 1862 and beyond. One ordinary-looking building, a window on American history and American life.
Wow. You can shoot through there and see where the barn, where the register stuff was. Maybe.
Okay.
You used to go in, you used to go in there without years ago.
What?
Or you could try to do that. You watch one?